Smile. Okay. Oh, that was a nice one.
The closed mouth smile.
Either one. It was kind of Mona Lisa smile kind of thing.
The Mona Lisa smile is closed mouth, and it's far better known than any toothy smile.
I like a toothy smile for myself. I'm working on it. I've been using whitening strips and stuff like that, kind of get whiter in my teeth. Just saying. So, Suzanne, you've been doing this for a long time. Performing, doing Underdog, doing Vlad the Impaler, doing Spectrum of the Ghost King.
Yeah, I'll be doing him in the Halloween parades that are in 2018 because it's his 50th anniversary.
Right. So I'm curious, what's next? I mean, because now you've retired from the Coney Island Mermaid Parade.
Yes.
So, what brings on this retirement? Do you have plans to do other stuff? Are you just going to strictly just do Baltimore and things like that, and no more coming to New York? What's up?
I've retired from the Mermaid Parade because in all the years I was in it, at least 60 to 70% of the participants dressed immodestly. They simply have to have a dress code in the future.
They do have a dress code. What happens is they have all the family-friendly ones in the beginning and the ones that are a little bit more inappropriate at the end. So that's good, right? They're separating the two. No?
Well, I guess that helps.
Yeah. So they're making big moves. They're doing their thing. You don't have any hatred for them or anything like that. You know, Coney Island has served you well.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So that's good. So what about? So you just mainly stay at home, or what do you got planned?
For when?
Just for now, for your career, for your I mean, you've won a whole bunch of times.
I'm going to stick to the events I normally do. Just about all of them are on an annual basis.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you're going to do those, and what else do you have planned? It's like I'm talking about your legacy. You've been doing this for so long. You were talking about Vlad the Impaler.
We should bring him up in a separate episode.
No, I'm not using this episode for. I'm doing this separate. This is just a separate, complete thing. This is just you and me talking.
Oh,
so it's okay. You can speak. You can speak freely around the house. We're just two friends, just John.
I haven't done a Dracula dance performance in 11 years, and I'm really concerned about how many more chances will I get to do Vlad the Impaler before I either die or retire him.
Okay, so well, let's not talk about you dying, but let's talk about why would you retire the Vlad the Impaler character?
I may not have enough stamina.
Uh-huh.
I could run down, or because the public doesn't give enough attention to him. They pay more attention to the fictional Count. Would you recall anything about the big Dracula fad of the 1970s?
Oh yeah, sure. There was all sorts of cool vampire films like Scream, Dracula Scream, and don't forget Blacula. That was one of my favorites over there. He had the bushy brows and the big mustache.
Well, see, that's just it. That fad accomplished little or nothing in Vlad's behalf. There was too much attention and energy squandered on the vampire.
So they want to hear more. But Vlad the Impaler. I mean, he has a interesting story.
If people, anybody who's a real horror buff and wants to be frightened by the most horrendous scenarios ever known, then he should turn to then he should turn to Vlad the Impaler because he was much more horrendous than the fictional vampire.
Yeah, he would have his foes impaled on just skewered, and he would have them like hanging there while he was like having dinner, right?
Yes, Raymond McNally, one of the two historians who are Dracula experts, said that at any site of a mass impalement, Dracula's henchmen would collect the blood flowing out of the victims in bowls, bring those bowls over to Dracula, who would then consume the contents.
Oh my goodness, horrific. So he would do that. Did he feel like he was going to get power from that, or he's going to get eternal life from that? Why'd he do it?
No.
Just proving he's a gangster? Why?
He had a difficult life while growing up. He spent
I'll say.
In his time, many European nations were not that strongly organized, and the Muslims were spreading Islam wherever they could go, and some European nations had to fight the Turks because they were afraid that their countries would lose their Christian traditions and become Islam or Turkish provinces. So the way it went with Dracula was he spent at least half his teen years as a hostage in a Turkish prison.
So he was like tortured.
He very well could have been tortured, maltreated, assaulted. Try to think back about the American hostages in Iran. Now they were in prison for more than a year. Could they have undergone torture and abuse?
Yeah, I would definitely say so. And or normal POWs of war during like Vietnam or Korea or something like that. They also, withstood stuff.
Would they be maltreated, do you mean?
I think so. Well, I thought there was... Hold on, when did that Treaty of Geneva come out? That people are supposed to be treated nice. Right? I don't know. I'm not a historian. I'm just a guy with a show. That's it.
Well, because Dracula had all those horrendous experiences behind him, and besides finding out that his father and older brother were killed in war, by the time he became prince for the second time, he was well up to mass executions and tortures.
So he was the one that was dictating these things happen now.
Yes.
I don't know. Well, I don't know if it's a right thing to do, but okay. Now you were talking about McNally. What about Florescu?
There were two historians who went on expedition 50 years ago to Europe and came back with the proof that Dracula really had existed in the mid-15th century, but he was not a vampire.
But the blood drinking thing, I guess, is true. So we see that.
Yes. Radu Florescu and Raymond McNally. Those were the names of the two historians. Yes.
Are any keeping on the tradition of keeping that tradition going of vampire knowledge? Oh, not vampire knowledge. Vlad the Impaler knowledge.
I certainly hope so. In Romania, they certainly would, but I can't be sure about the United States or most other places in the world.
Well, I guess you could do some more dancing and stuff like that.
If I get the chances, I haven't danced Dracula since 2007.
So, what kind of events would you like to dance at? I'm just curious.
Well, in 1997, I think I gave my greatest Dracula performance. That was the 100th anniversary of the vampire novel. So to celebrate the occasion, there was a convention in Los Angeles. I was on the entertainment program, thank goodness. And then the second day I was there, thank goodness, both Florescu and McNally were among the spectators, and I gave a performance of a lifetime.
Wow! So you could be proud of that. You could look back on your career and see many good things you've done.
But it's been more than 21 years now since that convention, and 50 years since the expedition. So unless the public is kept aware of Dracula's real story, it's going to fade out of their memories.
So yeah.
So then it's up to people like me to keep circulating the information.
So you are the torchbearer of these great men.
Yes.
All right. Well, any other things that you are also bearing the torch for that you're keeping the memories alive of? Underdog.
Yes.
All right. Well, always Underdog too. So all right. And I guess the other people that you perform as are getting good shakes. Supergirl's doing good. You like her?
I haven't done her in a long time because I had some trouble with one of my ankles in 2013, and I had to wear a brace on it. I still do up to date. So I couldn't do Supergirl anymore because my red boots would not go over the brace.
I see. Okay, well, I have a question for you. Do you ever check out the Supergirl TV show? Do you like that?
I saw it sometimes. I think I just mildly liked it.
Mildly like it? Hey, mildly like it. That's praise indeed. Is there any other things that you feel are doing any stuff that you like justice?
No, I don't. I wouldn't say that.
Okay. So Supergirl gets a sort of okay, and vampire stuff not so good. People got to talk more about Vlad the Impaler, not about vampires.
Yeah.
And just like people got to talk about for Christmas, people got to talk about Jesus and not talk about Santa Claus.
That's right.
All right. Any other advice for the people out there in TV land that are watching right now?
Well, for what occasions?
Any occasion. Just come on. It's you're here now in the studio. You have the floor. Madam President, you have the floor.
On New Year's Day 2019, I'll be in the Mummers Parade in Philadelphia. It's a very famous parade which lasts about 12 hours altogether. I've been in it. I've been in it a number of times. This time I'm going to do Catwoman.
Ah. Catwoman, I hear in the comic books was trying to marry Batman. No, you're against that?
Yes, because Batman's a good guy. She's a bad girl.
Oh, but then why are you performing as her?
Well, because I love cats, and some actresses I've seen doing Catwoman can make her quite lovable.
Okay. What is your favorite Catwoman's?
Until July of 1999, I had a cat named Blackie. She was mixed black and brown. And she was very lovable, also very sociable. She was a very outdoorsy cat. One fond memory I keep of her is when I would come home from choir practice on Thursday nights. By that time it was dark, and I didn't see Blackie anywhere. I went, and then she ran down a structure, maybe a lifeguard chair, in the pool yard, squeeze under the fence, and then run up the walk to get inside my apartment.
She knew you were coming. So very good. That's a good memory, Suzanne. All right, so thank you so much for coming on the show, and it's always a pleasure to see you, and I love you. You're great. So thank you. I'm giving you a hug. I'm giving you a hug on TV here. Well done. Thank you for everything. Thank you.
When I did my milestone Dracula performance in 1997 at that Los Angeles convention, when I was finished my program, I beckoned to Radu and Raymond to join me on the stage, and they did. I took one hand from each of them and hoisted them up, and I was so happy. I wanted to hug both of them at that point, but I was afraid it would be inappropriate.
Wow. Well, wow. Well, thank you for sharing that memory with us. Thank you. And everybody, ladies and gentlemen, Suzanne Muldowney.